The NCTF, as you see there, it was established in September 2022, right, after some time of work. So my colleague, Mr. Julian Defoe, Minister, he was the lead on that at the time, and I'm just taking over where he left off, rest of his balance. In December 2022, we signed our CBF partnership agreement, and currently, for this corporate proposal, we have 4 donors, as you can see here, CBF, the German International Agency, GAC, CUBES International and others, and we have a total of $150,000 US, for which we can offer towards these applicants for this corporate proposal. As you can see, our mission of the NCTF is to provide a sustainable source of funding for projects that support the effective management, conservation, and restoration of Dominica's biodiversity, right, and natural resources. And the vision is the nature island, rich in flora, fauna, and prosperity for all. So I'm sure that all of us here share in these ideals. So we'll move forward with the first speaker. That's Mr. Paul.
No, it's Teresa.
Oh, Teresa. Sorry.
Thank you very much, Derek. So I'd like to make a special hello from the CBF family, especially my CEO, Karen McDonald-Gill, to Mr. Defoe. Because in his former hat, he was very instrumental in the NCTF formation. So thank you for that. Welcome to everybody else, the NCTF board, the Technical Advisory Committee, the potential grantees, those online, general public. Let me introduce myself. So Teresa Erin Sanderson. I am a technical officer with the Caribbean Biodiversity Fund. I manage one of the projects. And I really want to congratulate everyone that has been instrumental in achieving this milestone. As you can see from what Derek said, the NCTF was formed in late 2022. And we've been waiting and anticipating this first launch of the call for proposals. I'm happy to have this opportunity to tell you a little bit more about CBF. So CBF stands for the Caribbean Biodiversity Fund. And we have a very special relationship with not only the DNCTF, but other national conservation trust funds across the Caribbean region. Currently, we have 12 countries. We have partnerships with 10 of these countries. And why the CBF? I mean, why another conservation trust fund? We are very, very unique in the Caribbean. We are the first regional environmental NGO, so to speak. Donors such as the German Development Bank, World Bank, TNC, AFD, the French government, came together recognizing that there is a need to have an organization that has a sustained source of financing. So we are very special in terms of we're not funded by projects. And we all know projects come, do what they have to do, go, and then there's a gap, right? So the CBF is actually founded in an endowment fund. And what that is, donors have put funds into one pot for various countries, Dominica being one of these countries. And that pot of funds is invested, and the returns of that fund is available to the different countries in perpetuity for a lifetime, right? Once the interest is generated, those funds are distributed according to a very complicated formula I will not go into, to the different countries. So for instance, Dominica benefits St. Lucia, we have Haiti, we have the Dominican Republic, we have Bahamas, and we're trying to add a lot more countries into that fund. So that's a really special, unique way that CBF came about. We recognize that we don't want position. The funds are for the country. And in the country, the bigger the interest generated, the more proceeds that we can give to the NCTF to implement projects on the ground. The CBF also has other projects that can benefit Dominica. So besides the endowment, we also recognize that project funding is useful, right? So for instance, the NCTF is going to benefit from Global Affairs Canada, the Canadian government, through other grant sources of funds. It's going to benefit from a French-funded project, which I manage, called the CRAB project, Caribbean Regional Architecture for Biodiversity project, from another set of grant fundings, which will be available probably in the next 2 months. These projects also help all the NCTFs across the Caribbean, the trust funds, with building their capacities in monitoring and evaluation, in project management, in other specific technical areas such as marine protected area management, etc. So DNCTF is going to benefit from all these other projects, and more importantly for those in the room, from additional grant-making funds. By the next 2 months, we could have an additional $100,000 to put into the pot that DNCTF can then issue another call for proposals, or as they deem fit, and have that for your benefit. What else does the CBF do? We also have 2 other major projects funded by the German Development Bank, KfW. We have an ecosystem-based adaptation pool of funds that has been implemented for the last few years, 50 million US, and those funds are available to NGOs to implement projects. We recently launched another facility called the ACE facility, Advancing Circular Economy. The priority for that facility is really marine litter and pollution, and call for proposals are ongoing and will come up in the latter end of this year for this proposal. So it's something for you to look forward to. But on that note, I have to tell you that as NGOs, you have to be prepared for that funding. It's just not given to any NGO that comes and applies. You know, you have to have a history of working in the field. You have to have your board set up, your articles of association. You have to have your bank account. You have to be transparent. You have to be above board. You have to have, you know, a relationship with the country for you to be able to access those funds. And if you find that you cannot do it on your own, then you have to partner to be able to access those funds. So I was only given 5 minutes. I can't really speak very long. So my last word to this group is that to the potential grantees, I really look forward to, by this time next year, going on the ground and visiting some projects that are active. And projects that are active and really impacting the livelihoods of Dominicans. And furthermore, helping us to sustain our rich and valuable biodiversity. So thank you for attending. Thank you for taking this keen interest in the DNCTF. The CBF is there as a source of information. I am based in Dominica. I am available for any discussion you may have. Just contact Valentina. She will put you on to me. But anything we can do to assist the NGO community in Dominica, please feel free to reach out. Thank you very much.
Yes, and thank you, Erin, for that and the background of CBF. Because of some of our funding sources and our supporters. I'll have Albert Paul come up. Mr. No? Mr. But you only been the best for that.
All right.